Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Growth Table podcast. On today's show, we have a guest. This is more like the first professional setting we're going to have, and she's going to be introducing herself to us. Let's get to meet her. I know what she has to offer. So if you're a working professional, you're a young person in the 9 to 5 space, the business sector, you would obviously want to lean into this episode today. So welcome, Miss Debbie, and welcome to the Growth Table podcast, actually.
Thank you so much.
So I'm actually very grateful that I talked to you about this. I think it was yesterday, and then you agreed to be on the show. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate. So please, just a little run about who you are, what you've been up to, and how the professional space has been for you.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Ipinmoroti Deborah,
Okay.
and I'm actually a public health professional
Hmm.
as well as an operations manager at 704 stores. And they're like two different lines, right?
Seriously?
But don't worry, you get to know how I combine
Juggle
both
them.
together and flourish and make impact as well.
That's so nice. Nice to have you here. So my people, you're going to be getting value from this today, right? So we have some questions for Miss Debbie today, and those questions are going to be questions related to work-life balance, and how you as a young professional can actually make impact in your space. And from there, we're going to learn how she has been able to navigate, and obviously it's going to help you out, right? All right. So Miss Debbie, over to the first question. Tell us about your career journey and how you actually got into the current role that you're in.
Right. When we talk about my current role, it's like a 2-in-1 kind of situation.
Yeah, let's put them together.
I'll try to put them together.
Yeah.
First off, I owed a master's degree in public health.
Wow.
And I've tried my best to work in the public health space. When I was in school, during my undergraduate program, I tried to volunteer a lot. Even though I was studying physiology, which is even different from public health. But as at then, I knew I wanted something more. Something tending towards making impact in the community, the people around me and all of that. So I volunteered a lot. And I've had people come into my DM and say, oh, how did you get the opportunity? How were you able to find a lot of places?
Seriously?
So I just knew that I was going into community impact, health promotion and all of that. So I started early. Even when my colleagues were focusing on renal, cardiovascular physiology, I was doing other things with physiology. And I was able to pursue that part by also applying for masters in public health. And currently, I've worked with several organizations in that line. I'm also, while studying public health, I had the opportunity to work at 704 stores as a call closer, actually, more like customer service representative. So I worked up the ladder from there, and currently I manage the staff members at 704 stores. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh my God, this is inspiring. Volunteering. At that point, you didn't think of the money you were getting. And you didn't think it was a failure to pivot from what you were even studying to do something that your heart really calls for. And that is really inspiring. Especially for we young ones that are coming up and we're like, oh, I'm studying this and I'm doing this. And people are like, you choose one safe. And look at where it has gotten you to. This is actually very nice. I'm really happy to have you here. Second question, looking back to how far you've come, what did you think a successful career meant when you started working?
Okay. For me, I was always in the fix, actually. In the fix, in the sense that seeing myself as a 9 to 5 and also an independent person. So it's for a very long time, it has been a dilemma for me. Am I going into the 9 to 5 space, or I just want to set up something for myself, which is a decision I had to make to work in 9 to 5. At least for now, I'm still here, right? So early when I started, it was more of making an end meet, just getting money. Student now.
Jama.
Money, independent. So it was more like making ends meet for me, right? So that was it when I started making money and doing a lot of tasks, because if you focus on one thing, let's say I'm just focusing on my education now, you're not putting your brain to work enough. So for me now, I wanted to do something more to just keep my brain awake. So.
Oh my God. Is it you I'm inspiring or I'm inspiring myself? I'm actually inspiring myself here, and I hope you're getting inspired by this conversation. So the third question, what are the biggest mistakes that you see young professionals, upcoming professionals, young ones make in their first few years of working? Graduates coming up, what are the mistakes that you see them making?
Okay, I'm going to be talking in the light that I've also made some of these mistakes. I'm going to be talking about one or two.
Yeah.
The first one is not having a goal. You know, some people just want to graduate, and the whole narrative of you graduate, you get the job.
Yeah.
What is your goal as a person? What do you want to become? Who do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? It's more than just, I studied microbiology. I want to be a microbiologist or something like that. So what do you want to become? So most young people, they don't have goals. They just follow a pathway that others have laid for them. And not having your own goal now, that is the beginning of error. Because you are not going your own way. You're just trying to navigate via other people's experiences. So that's the first thing. And secondly, it's not everything that is about money. I tell young people a lot that even though I ask you to get money, get the job, and at least sustain yourself, but it's not everything that is about money. The money is important, but what you want to become for yourself, sit down and think about it. What is it that I want to do? It's much more important than the money you're going to get, because at the end of the day, you being consistent and doing what you love, what you really, really want to do, what you see yourself doing in the future, not like a passerby kind of thing. It's going to help you a lot. Get that money later. Thank you.
Hi. Let me not speak Igbo on the podcast. Oh my God. So we have like over 3 more questions that I'm gonna ask, because I wanted to. I had like there are 20 questions here, but let me because of the time. But let me pick one that I know actually would affect me. How do you advise young professionals to handle mistakes or failure at workspace?
Okay, first off, anyone can make mistakes. I think we should start from there. No one is above mistakes. But one thing I would advise is that don't try to evade the situation. Own up to it. I made a mistake. If the criticism now is constructive, try to reason with the person. This is what happened. I'm really sorry. Learn from your mistake. It's one thing to make the mistake now. It's another thing to not even learn from it. That means that mistake just went like that.
The lesson just wasted.
You still make the same mistake. So own up to the mistake, learn from it, and improve. There are like 3 different things. You can learn and not improve. I told you to do this thing, you made a mistake. You've learned your lesson. But tomorrow you are coming back to the same mistake. There's no improvement. So own up to your mistake, learn from it, and improve. Thank you.
Own up to your mistakes, learn from them, and improve. We have a tagline there. That's a structure. If you're a young professional and you happen to be dealing with mistakes at work, own up to your mistakes, learn from them, and improve. Don't just own up and learn. That improvement has to be there, as you've heard. All right. So what are 2 to 3 skills that you believe every young professional should prioritize right now, regardless of their industry?
Okay. Regardless of their industry. I can only think of one.
Okay.
But maybe it will come. But for me, personally, I think communication. Because no matter your industry, no matter what you do, you must learn to communicate. You communicate with your colleagues, you communicate with your superiors, you communicate with customers, you communicate with yourself. At some point,
seriously, when you talk.
So just learn to communicate. Communication skill is very, very important. It's very vital in anything that you do. So, like I said, I have just one at the top of my head right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, communication. You know what? When we're going to have her on the show again, she's going to be giving us the remaining 2, because I'm still going to ask this question again. Now, we've heard that every young professional, you're coming up the space, you're climbing up the ladder, learn communication. It's very important. And I think I even agree with that specifically because there are several things I've gotten in my life, not necessarily about money. I also don't prioritize money too much. I always love, let me not use pigeon. So I always love actually doing things that makes me happy. When I went to my first therapy, I won't call it a therapy session. I would say it's like a clarity session because I was confused at some point in my life. One of the core values that I live by is fulfillment. And fulfillment to me is doing something that I love, regardless if it pays or not. Do it. It doesn't have to be your main source of income. Just do it. Now, communication has made me get important recognitions from that space, doing what I love. I remember when I was at Lekki at some point, and then I think it was Ministry of Agriculture. I got to be friends with almost all the lecturers there. And at some point they were telling me that when you want to do your COS, just come do your COS here because we want to have you here. And that was because I don't think there was anything special about me. Just because I know I could just keep up conversations with them, ask questions. How was life for you growing up? What was this? What mistake did you make starting up this? Because I'm a big, I'm an enthusiast of the agricultural space. I love it. And I'm studying it currently because I want to go far in it aside the content space that I'm in. So communication has taken me far, and I want every young person. Communication is not just about speaking good English.
Actually,
it's not it. It's not. It's about, are you able to tell people how you feel, your ideas, right? Just lead a conversation, flow with a conversation without making it all about yourself. Ask questions about them. That's one thing I'm learning by actually being a podcaster as well. All right. So the final question for this episode, which will not be the least, because I'm still going to skip this because I'm going to ask the rest of them very soon later. Now, how can a young professional actually stand out in a workplace where everyone is doing the bare minimum? Now, everyone else is doing the bare minimum. How can you actually stand out? And it's not basically about, Yorubas will say asheju. It's not asheju this time. It's you wanting, there's nothing bad. I feel there's nothing bad with you doing more than everybody else. Even if the payment doesn't cover it, but just do it because you know you want to give your best at that space. How do you think they can actually navigate that?
Okay, thank you very much for that. In a space where people are doing the bare minimum, it's very, very possible that you are also discouraged. Even you that are not doing the bare minimum, it's very possible for you to be discouraged. But one thing I tell people is do your best. More than doing your best, do more than what is required of you. There's a way life rewards you for doing more than what is required. Even if you don't get the value or the reward at that time or the place that you're currently working, because many people now employed, they feel like, oh, maybe they're working for their employer and all of that. Sometimes it's more than that. And there's a place of recommendation. Your employer might not say, oh, Joshua, you are doing this, congratulations or well done. But at some point, your employer is looking at you, trying to study what you are doing. And he or she, right, might not have the opportunity to actually reward you at that point, but can recommend you to somebody higher. Now, oh, I have this staff member that can do this. So you really don't know what can come up out of it. So you now do what you do and expect the reward to find you. It's just as simple as that.
Do what you do and expect your reward to find you. Reward is not in heaven again, it's to find you. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man, for being part of this. Now, before we end this, what is one advice that you want to give to people watching this?
One advice I would like to give to the people watching is that stay consistent. Because I'm sure that you all might have been doing 1, 2, 3 things, and it looks as if the result is not coming forward. Just stay consistent. Consistency is very important in everything that you do. If you do it once, the second time, the third time, and you feel like, whoa, there's no reward, I don't think this will work. You drop it. You do something else. You do it the first time, second time, third time. Whoa, I don't think. At what point will something work for you? So consistency is very, very, very important. And that is my message to people, because as young people nowadays, we find it very difficult to stay on something. We jump from here to here to there, and at what point exactly do we expect reward or results to show for if you are not consistent? So be consistent and your results will show.
At what point do you expect results to show if you are not consistent? Power. In fact, you're supposed to carry book like this. Carry book and just be putting the lines down. Don't play. So that is how we do it on the Growth Table podcast, guys. This has been one of the most electrifying episodes I've actually had. As you know, my podcast has always been solo. Just a few guest episodes. And I think I'm going to be trying this guest episode thing a little more. But we're going to be doing it, as we do it, mostly audios. So audio, video, whenever time comes, we're going to do that. But expect to gain value from every episode that will drop out there. My name remains Joshua, and I had on my show today Miss Debbie, who is a public health professional and a manager at a growing firm. And she's doing this despite being a young person, and she's able to manage them. So you too can. And I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Until we see you in the next episode, goodbye.